Today on Top Gear Rearview, Jeff and I are nostalgic about an episode we haven't even talked about yet. I specifically remember the shot of the Porsche coming around a corner all normal, and then in the background, the Corvette just comes flying through.
Yeah, it's so American. Hello and welcome to Top Gear Rearview. I'm Jeff. That's Brady. Tonight we are closing out Series 4 with our look back at Episode 10.
This episode aired on the 1st of August in 2004, and the star in a reasonably priced car was Patrick Kielty.
And tonight we are looking at the Peugeot 407, the Volvo V50 estate, and what kind of odd trinkets you can fit in the boot. Slash, I guess just back, because it's not a trunk. Anyway, the BMW X3 and how well it does off-road. Spoiler alert, not well. And the first American, proper muscle car they've really had on this this new Top Gear, the C6 Corvette.
Yeah, the first one they've tested as the hot lap because they had the Charger a couple
I'm a
seasons
total
ago.
Liar. It's the GT was like 2 episodes ago. I'm a dumb dumb.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Anyway, it's still a Vet. It's the first time they have had a Vet on, so that's good.
Let's just narrow our window down and then it's properly disclaimered. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about something exceedingly less exciting.
The pedestrian-friendly Peugeot 407.
Yes, the pedestrian-friendly thing is probably one of the main, if not only, interesting things about this car. Is it was, what they said, the first or of the first generation of European cars to be built and designed with the pedestrian safety laws and requirements in mind. So it's the cushier, quote-unquote, sloped lower front end and hood, so that pedestrians roll up and don't get obliterated.
So you spin them, you flip them around, you don't necessarily chop them in half.
So there's not only crumple zones to protect the driver, but there's crumple zones to prevent you just mowing someone down in the street. Which is funny, I suppose. But yeah, this is the first one. And Peugeot, I guess, the French companies have been pretty high on their safety standards since they talked about it a few seasons ago with just the crash check warnings.
Yeah, which is, safety being, a legitimate part of this. This one had, it had a 2 out of 4 for the pedestrian NCAP test results. Adult occupant 5 out of 5, and child occupant 4 out of 5. So not bad.
It was a first run at the pedestrian results, I suppose.
Yeah, it was the first time having really having those new standards in place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there wasn't a ton to say here. It was 15,000 pounds. It was a 2-liter diesel. It was, I wrote down the Bago one in quotes. It's something that Hammond says, and now I'm remembering it out of context, and I don't remember why. But it's a funny quote, Bago. I don't know what that means.
That's usually what they say. Bog standard is what they say, right? Bog standard just means normal, regular.
Fair enough. All right.
Ho hum.
Yeah. He did also comment the many switches inside.
It was an extremely busy dash.
There's so many switches.
There's something so unbelievably dated about hard-wired and installed phone button switches. Yeah, it had like a 10 key keypad on it. It's that just does not age
10 key
very
is
well.
Long, it's long gone.
Yeah.
They made this into a bit of a challenge, which again, it was a challenge. It wasn't an interesting challenge, but he was the pace car for a bunch of radicals, which are way more interesting cars. And basically saying I got to make sure it can go fast enough around this track. It doesn't matter. You're the pace car. You set the pace, but.
There's requirements on how fast you should go as the pace car, though.
You
I
can't
understand.
2CV it, yeah.
It certainly did not seem like he was pushing that Peugeot to its limit, but he was trying to test out the handling because I guess that's the point of buying a big French car is that they usually handle well, which is just not something that's in the forefront of my mind as a positive stereotype about French cars. It's like, yeah, it's French, but at least it handles well. You don't ever say that,
Speak for yourself. Okay. If you're buying a diesel Bago standard 407 for $15K, at least it handles well.
At least it handles well, man.
And you can 10 key while you're driving.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. Yeah, I just wanted to call you up to tell you how good this thing's handling. What, your piece of shit Peugeot? Yeah, dude, yeah.
He makes it through the lap, which I'm gonna go hashtag topical here and say it's better than the GM exec who binned it into a wall in a new ZR1 today. You see that?
For what race?
No. It was an Indy race, an IndyCar race. It was wonderful. It comes around a corner a little too hot and just boop. Today, for the record, is June 3rd, 2018. Yeah, it was earlier today. It was the first televised crash of the new ZR1, and it was a good one.
Oh, hang on, I gotta watch it.
I'll throw it in the show notes.
Make sure you throw it in the show notes.
We'll give Brady a minute to catch up here.
Oh my god, yeah, no, this is fun. Oh yeah, he totally just works it. What a doof.
Don't let executives drive pace cars. I bet Hammond wouldn't have crashed it. It's a good video.
Good job, Hammond didn't do that.
Yeah. Good job not crashing, given it's, 136 horsepower. It's not exactly a 750 horsepower ZR1. But
it is also Richard Hammond, who can crash damn near anything.
It's true. I mean, of anybody on this show, he had the biggest chance.
Which is a very high chance. Yeah, it's a pretty boring car. I don't really like it. Let's move on.
To the news.
To the news, yes. Yeah. Jeff, what is a horse box?
I assume a horse trailer?
I got the sneaking suspicion. I got the sneaking suspicion that in the UK they don't really have the trailer. It's like it seemed to me like they're talking about people getting in and out of the horse box to go check on the horses. It's like you don't get in and out of the trailer, you get out of the car and you go to the trailer if you have a trailer. I feel like it's like an RV where the back half, instead of being a camper, is
a horse hauler?
Is a box for horses.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past those crazy British.
There's not a lot of places in the United Kingdom where I would ever want to take a trailer.
Yeah, I'm guessing it would be way easier because if you don't have that axis or that hinge point, I mean, if you're just cruising around, in like your little type mini CRV, and just take out the back part and put horses in there. It'd be cooler if they just left it open though. And you could just like look backwards and be like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
A very quick Google image search shows that it is absolutely just a camper that you put a horse in.
Cool.
Cool. Cool.
I like the discussion of how to more efficiently transport horses because, presumably with their girth being mostly at the top part, you can interlock them. Mm-hmm. Maybe styrofoam package them. Yeah,
just have their head out. That'd be good.
Give them a straw to breathe through.
That seems like the most plausible one.
I like that one. A little snorkel.
Let's move on to them talking about something way more interesting. Which
one?
Is the DB9 racing version.
Oh yeah, that was so pretty. It looked like a rendering. Because nothing fit right. The front wheels were way too close to the front tires were way too close to the fenders, but it was so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it might have looked a little odd because there was no there's no way that was correct. But it looked pretty. And I guess you get the idea of what it looks like when you add the 2 or 3 inches down by the ground skirting,
Mm-hmm.
Makes it look a lot sleeker, faster, and race car-ish.
To be fair, I mean, all of the proper DB9 race cars that Google Image brings up, very good-looking cars.
Mm-hmm. They are extremely good-looking cars.
It does great with that nice low skirting, the
aggressive fenders
and a gigantic wing.
Yeah, it takes to it very well. Yeah, so they just flashed that one up on the screen. Just to show you, and it was well worth the time. Sometimes when they make you look at something, you're like, that's boring. But sometimes it's a DB9 racing version.
Yep. They did have the an interesting Citroen, the new C4. I mean, that in and of itself is not that interesting, but it did have the first of, or at least what it sounds like, the first of the lane departure detection systems.
Sounds, like, I don't know of anything before this that also had that. It certainly seems like a feature that would come on the Mercedes S-Class.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
Also on the Citroen C4.
Yeah, which is a 12,000-pound car.
Yeah, which is very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's, they made many jokes of, the vibrating seats and the fun that can come with that, but, yeah, as is their way.
As
I
is
thought that
their
was cool. That is, I mean, this was 2004, as you said. So this is, 14 years on. This is becoming a more standard safety feature, especially on like mid-end cars now. So seeing it
exactly.
on a cheapo Citroen, awesome.
They briefly talk about kind of copying or ripping off a home show in the UK called Restoration, where they give you like a series of 3 or 4 homes, and you vote to see which one they should do up or whatever, and then they do it up. Kind of a home renovation show.
Uh-huh.
They have an idea to rip that off with cars, and it almost sounds like they give you the address to phone in and to call in and to write in.
They're gonna do it.
Do you ever remember anything like that?
No, but I'm really excited to watch the next couple seasons to see if they somehow forget or like leave it out as they did with the Car Olympics here.
Oh my god! I hope they bring in Ed China.
Oh god, yeah, love Ed China.
And they had this idea, and then someone goes, "Hey, isn't that what those wheeler dealers guys do?" And then they got copyright claimed.
Yeah.
Someone copyright striked them on the BBC.
The last thing that I had for the news was that I think it was a Peugeot, the 1007. 1007.
1007, Jeff. We are a public record of things.
Something.
Don't get us sued.
I like that. I really like this little car. I think I like Peugeots.
The double slider doors just for a regular car?
Yeah, I mean it totally makes sense, especially when Jeremy asked, "Can you put those on a Ford GT?"
Oh no, because I can't get into one.
Yeah, I can't open my doors in a car park. So, 10,000 pounds, and yeah, I thought those were super cool, just because you can just kind of, I mean, it makes sense. It adds a little kind of dorkiness to the side because you have to have the track for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder how much weight it adds. It can't be that much.
They looked like they were actuated, so there's at least an actuator.
Yeah. But yeah.
And then the rail and slide system probably weighs a lot more than just a hinge.
Yeah, I imagine it's a penalty of sorts, but not too bad. And it also has the user swappable Cameleo interior trim pieces.
Yeah, that's interesting. It always seems like something that I go, huh, that's cool. And then I think about it for a second. And I go, never once have I looked at the inside of my car and go, I wish that was a different color.
I wish I was blue. I think
all this. Something else.
I mean, if you really want to, why not just take it out and paint it? But I think Kia did something like this on the Soul.
Okay, yeah,
maybe, but it's
the hamster box.
Yes. I wonder if Hamster ever drove a Soul.
They did in the commercials, didn't they?
Well, I'm just saying, Richard Hammond. A little too on the nose.
Oh. I did not get that one right away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got on that one. It was a cool looking little car. It looks like it lasted from about 2005 to 2009, so not super long, but I mean, I like that Peugeot is like trying things.
They're out there. The French companies definitely go their separate which ways with ideas.
Get a little wonky with it.
This was a fruitful news. Sometimes they're garbage. This one was not.
Good pictures, cool things, etc.
Horse boxes.
Horse boxes. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'll find something interesting for the show notes for that one.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to something less exciting.
Yeah, Volvo Estate.
I like Volvo Estates. I don't really like this one.
I've owned a Volvo Estate. I actually do like this one. I just don't understand the point of this segment. Okay. I like that 5-cylinder. It's a cool.
The T5 package.
Yeah, the T5. I gotta assume this one is all-wheel drive as well. It's a small hatch, or it's a small wagon. That's what I like. I don't understand why you would try to use this to get a sofa.
A Chesterfield, you mean?
Is that what it's called?
That's what he says. I don't know, man.
All right. I mean, I'm okay, but I mean, there's bigger versions. That's the thing. That's like, why are you doing the V50?
Yeah, why the 50? Why not do the 60?
Yeah, did the 60 exist at that point?
I don't know.
Now I'm looking. But there
why
were
not the 80? I guess maybe they were. I guess let's dig a little deeper into this, huh?
Okay.
The comment is that why would you buy a small estate?
Okay. It'd be the V70, by the way. That's the proper one. But
why would you buy a small estate?
To move things smaller than couches.
But you can move things smaller than couches in a hatchback.
Yeah, because you want a little more than a hatchback. You want to bring skis somewhere and 4 people.
I think that's the commentary they're going for, is just get the big one. Get the one that's useful, or get a hatchback. If you had to ask me what the point was.
Okay. I mean, I don't see a big difference between this and like the X3 that we see later, aside from the Volvo's way cooler because it's not a stupid crossover and it's probably more capable off-road as well, but...
well, they hated that too, so I mean...
fair enough. Yeah. They did bring... At least James brought back a bitchin' hair salon chair thing.
I suppose. That being said, all things aside, that couch he picked out was sweet.
It was so cool. Yeah.
For 55 pounds?
55 pounds, yeah. That's nothing. What's that, like $80?
$3, dude. I'd buy that all day, every day for $3.
Maybe not so. Yeah, he brought an expert for reasons, and
some other BBC show
wasn't so keen on the value of said awesome sofa. But you know what? Fuck it, get yourself a sofa.
I like how they started to talk price, and that dude's like, "This is what I'm all about." 50 walks out the door at 50. He's like, James, I got this.
I'm bored, but I'm gonna take this part. Yeah, I agree. That was his reason for being there. I've
got gloves, I got a scarf, and I got my f***ing negotiating hat on, dude.
That guy had a name. I don't remember what it was. He was somebody in the UK. I don't think he's somebody here, but all right.
I think it might be something along the lines of similar-ish and the similar ilk. Maybe not the appraisal thing, because I think they actually have Antiques Roadshow over there, but someone who just goes around to flea markets and puts it on TV.
Yeah.
Such is the way due to the unique way that the BBC is funded.
Okay.
Got a whole TV show. What do? Walk around flea markets?
Yeah. I had a YouTuber come to a garage sale one time and record a video. So whatever.
Did?
Feel. Yeah. He was buying my my Marlboro collection of Zippos that they just send me all the time.
Did you see the YouTube video? Is it on YouTube?
It probably is. I've never looked. He lowballed the hell out of me, but I was like, I don't care. I don't need like 11 Zippos.
And it's a garage sale.
Yeah. It was like, I have them out there for $5. You're going to offer me 3? I'm probably just going to say, sure.
Walks out the door at $3, Jeff.
I should have made him film the negotiation and just held steady. $5 or I kill your wife.
It's gonna be $5 unless you turn those cameras off.
Dark. You know what? For cameras, $6. Camera tax.
Get that camera out of my face. Every minute's in my face, it goes by $1.
Yeah. By walking on my property, you just signed my agreement for my film rights.
About 25 seconds ago, didn't need all these lighters. Right now, really want to keep all these lighters.
I am a lighter collector.
This is going to be a beep-heavy tangent, but it's going to stay in, I think.
All right, I'm okay with it.
All right, let's move it on.
All right, so the Irishman?
The Irishman, the Northern Irish, but yes, the Irishman.
Irishman.
Yes. Patrick Kielty. Took me a while to figure out who he's talking about. It's Patty, is what he says. He says Patty Kielty.
Yes.
But yeah, it turns out he's a recently canceled former Chet Show host and just a comedian in general.
Yeah.
He sounded like Jeremy was tossing up some softballs for his bits in this interview. Mm-hmm. Just like a good interviewer will do.
Yeah, it sounded like Jeremy had recently been on his show too. It's just like a chat. This kind of pointed out to me. You had mentioned before that chat shows are like a big thing over there, and I agree now.
Yeah, the chat shows and the panel shows, and they're all just populated by all the same people.
Yeah,
like we'll go on a panel show and we'll talk about like news headlines, topical, and make jokes about it, and then we'll all get up and go to another show and we'll all sit down and do an interview, and then we'll all go do a lap around it's all the same people. There's like there's like 150 celebrities in the UK, and like 140 of them just talk to each other the whole time.
Yep.
The other 10 are like in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, or Die Hard, and one that's both.
Choose one, or you gotta choose them both. Yeah, they apparently had raced each other recently too. Yeah.
So it sounded like there was there's a big charity drive over there. The big one that you hear of is called Comic Relief, where it's a bunch of comedy things, and they just do a big charity drive for money for charity. This one sounded like Sporting Relief, which is the same thing but with sports stars instead of comedians. And so what they do is they go around to all the chat shows and pick up everyone who's a comedian and make them go do sports.
Okay.
It seemed like Jeremy and this guy were racing each other essentially for charity. You know, hold an event, make people pay a lot of money to get in, do some jokes or whatever, race around, get advertiser money, and then give it all to charity.
All right. Yeah, Jeremy apparently knew that, what was it? He passed on yellow because he knew that like the flagger wasn't there to like officially release them.
Yeah, you're not allowed to pass on a waving yellow flag, so you have to fall in line and go slower in that area.
Yep.
And you're allowed to go faster again once the next marshal waves a green flag at you. But Jeremy knew that there were no green flags at this racetrack, so he just went in front of him. And Patty was none too happy.
Not so happy.
Nope. I don't have a lot about him. They didn't do any car history, did they? They said he owns a Porsche Cayenne, but that's like a current thing.
And he had just bought a DeLorean, which was in studio.
Oh, that's right. He bought the DeLorean. I have that. Yeah, never mind. I have that.
Yeah, so I mean, studio, DeLorean, etc. Yeah, he had some jokes about that, but yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't a bad interview, but it was kind of just. It seemed like a chat show interview that I was like, you could tune it out without any effort.
Exactly. He did do a lap. The Stig said that he had a very good car control and an enormous set of bravery.
Mm-hmm. He didn't use the word bravery.
He did not use the word bravery, but it came across in his lap. Jeff, he did a 148, which is very fast.
I think he had more time in him too, if I recall.
He did.
Right.
He had a bad set of corners at the end.
Didn't he blow the hammerhead?
He
went wide.
Yeah. There's been a couple. I guess the Mercedes in the episode before, maybe just because it was such of a pig. So much understeer, but it blew the hammerhead too. It's like it seems like it's a bad time right now.
Yeah, maybe it's a little slipperier in there. Yep. So yeah, that's all I got. 148. Now, I mean that's pretty solid. That's up there with Jody, right?
Yeah, and JK. Yep. It's only a second behind. Simon.
It was Simon Cowell. Yeah. So good time. Yeah. Attaboy.
Simon and Ronnie the Rocket O'Sullivan. All right, Jeff, let's talk about this bullshit X3.
This is a car that I don't understand why it exists. And now there's an X1, and I also don't understand why it exists.
It exists because of America.
It exists because crossover.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are fully to blame for this particular vehicle.
Which I am so upset about. Yeah, it's
I want it to go off-road. Are you really going to go off-road? No. All right, here's an X3.
Exactly. So, when you try to go off-road, it don't go so well.
It does not.
It does.
So this was what on Jeremy's list for the ugliest car in the most recent set of Top Gear awards.
Yeah.
He said the entire BMW line. I think I made you narrow it down to one BMW, Jeff, and you said the X3 as the ugliest car of the year.
I would stand by that.
Yeah. It's pretty, it's an odd duck. It's got some weird design lines, even for BMWs of the time. So it's not very good, but I think most importantly is it, I guess, quote unquote, looks like an SUV with having zero amount of the features of an SUV.
Yeah, it has, it's a Peugeot.
Marmaduke is a friteur.
It's also kind of pricey. $33,000 for the 3-liter Sport.
That's expensive.
Yeah, $29,000 for the 2.5-liter. Made in Austria, apparently, where Schwarzenegger is from.
Yeah, by a third-party company. Did you get anything about this? I could
didn't.
not see anything.
I didn't. That was surprising to me. I didn't realize BMW outsourced like that. But yeah. And I think
Okay, here you go. First generation X3 was designed by BMW in conjunction with Magna Steyr of Graz, Austria. Magna Steyr, S-T-E-Y-R.
Okay.
Engineers, develops, and assembles automobiles for other companies on a contractual basis.
So they're a contract manufacturer.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't realize that existed in the automotive world. I mean, Badge Engineering does, but this seems like a step beyond that.
Magna Steyr developed Mercedes-Benz's 4MATIC four-wheel drive system.
They've also been making the G-Class since the 70s. That's the G-Wagons.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
They make the Jaguar I-Pace and E-Pace, which are two Jaguars I don't really care about, and the current 5 Series.
The E-Class 4MATIC models, the X3, and the Aston Martin Rapide.
Interesting.
This is I think this deserves a bit more of a dive.
Whoa! If you get into they have their own things, the Magna Steyr Mila, the Magna Innovation Lightweight Auto, which is a brand for technology and research, and they have the craziest concept cars. Yeah. Oh, they're kind of awesome. I like these guys already.
So it's currently producing what you said. Oh, whoa.
They've made a lot.
I don't know if you read this. It's done the G-Class since 79. The entire BMW 5 Series.
Since 2017. Since last year.
But the 5
I agree.
Series
The 5 Series is the 5 Series. Yeah. If you look
also did
the Mini Countryman, the Mini Paceman. Yeah, there's the SLS AMG.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee?
Whoa!
From 94 to 04?
This is blowing my mind. The
E-Class, M-Class, X3, 300C, that's just a Mercedes. They are doing the E-Class, you might as well do a 300C.
And they made
Grand Cherokee again.
Wow. They made the Vario roof for the SLK, the Benz SLK, over $500,000 of those made.
Mini Paceman and Countryman? Jesus.
This is crazy. This is the most interesting part of this episode.
I really wish I would have read this before.
Okay. So they're a very large contract manufacturer producing most of the Daimler-Benz kind of stuff.
And yeah, the associated American Jeep and Dodge brands of the time. Before they got sold off.
Yeah, but they also got BMW as well. So they got
they're doing the 5 Series.
Yeah, and they did the X3 until 2010.
Jeez,
bonkers. I'll throw up. I'm gonna try to find some more information on this. I'll see what I can find and throw it in the show notes. This is an interesting read. I wish they had spent a little more time on it in the episode, so I would have cared more. But digging in, cool.
In March 2017, Magna Steyr started to produce the new 5 Series sedan. Production is shared with BMW Group's manufacturing plant in Dingolfing, Germany.
I wonder if they produce for the Asian markets or something, or if they have a specific devising line where they kind of they make for one side and BMW Dingolfing makes for the other.
Magna Steyr, Magna Powertrain, Magna Exteriors, Magna Seating, Magna Closures, Magna Mirrors, Magna Electronics, and Cosma International.
We might have just stumbled into the Illuminati or something. We should probably
the shady underbelly of no one actually makes their own cars. It's just this dude from Canada.
Yeah, we should cut all this out, Brady. We're gonna get killed. Oh, that is interesting. This is some cool stuff. If you're nerds in manufacturing like Brady and I are.
All right, I guess we should probably move on, huh?
Probably get back to this thing. The gist of all of this is the X3 is garbage off-road, and it gets stuck every single time.
It high centers all the time because it's a car.
Mm-hmm.
Cars should not be off-road.
Pretty much. I mean, they're off-road. Off-road in Europe seems just like muddy ruts.
It rains a lot more over there. Off-road over here, if you notice, every time they come over here, it's either a mountain or a desert.
True.
Because if you wanted muddy ruts, you might as well just stay in the UK.
Yeah.
Wow. What a revelation. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about a Corvette.
Corvette.
Before we do this, because this is the power lap and everything, do you want to talk about the hidden segment?
We probably should, yeah. So we noticed this as we were ramping up for this recording. The article there's a Wikipedia article that follows all the content of this, and they mentioned the Car Olympics long jump, which Brady and I both were like, "What the hell?
When did this happen?"
It didn't in the Amazon version.
Mm-hmm. So another culprit of either licensing editing or just time editing or something, but something that aired in the original version did not make it to the U.S. available Amazon version.
Yeah, I don't
it was
know
only like a 5-minute segment, and there was nothing. There's obviously nothing controversial about it.
No, they were coming up to the Torino Olympics, and this was obviously the long jump. Torino is winner. Long jump is. Wait, was Torino winner? No, I can't remember.
Torino was definitely winner.
Torino was winner, yeah, and long jump is obviously not.
No, it was 2004. It was Athens.
Oh, okay. So it was summer. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. They mentioned the Olympics. Maybe the IOC is just like, no. Speaking of the Olympics,
do not be using the rings.
Yeah, they did use the rings. You can find this segment on a popular video uploading site. And basically they take, what was it, 6 cars? 5 cars? 5 cars.
5 cars.
And
it was 5 cars from different countries. Let's go through them real quick. It was the Citroen 2CV from France. It was the AMC Pacer from the United Kingdom, or from the United States. UK. It was the Lada
Riva.
Lada Riva Estate. It was the Skoda Favorite from, I guess, the Czech Republic.
Misnomer.
The Lada, obviously, from the United Socialist Soviet Republic. And then what was the car from the UK?
I don't remember. I closed it already.
Austin Healey something.
Something. It didn't
anyway,
win.
They jump off a ramp into a pit of sand, and it turns out the big, fat, slow Lada was the best.
Yeah.
10 meters, an Olympic record.
Lada's kick-ass. I totally want a Lada.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
I'm leaving it. Hey, bang, bang, bang. So yeah, if you want to see that, it is available. It's not a bad segment. It's like 5 minutes long.
Yep, it's a quick one. I don't know why they cut it. Probably should have kept it.
Whatever.
Would have made the episode better.
Probably would have, yeah. But what we have left is this C6 Vet, and Hammond hooning it around. Hammond got a lot of screen time this episode.
Yeah, and last episode because he was driving all those
it's true.
convertibles around.
Yeah, he's got some time. So Hammond likes American cars. Hammond kind of likes this car. There's got some old timey technologies, but it's 400 horsepower, rear wheel drive, lightweight, light-ish weight, and cheap. I
never once ever thought that it would have leaf springs. Does it actually have a leaf spring suspension in the back?
I don't know, but I agree. That is crazy.
Get with it, GM. That's nuts.
Jimone. Well, I mean, the Mustang had live rear axle for the longest time too. They're not the quickest to adapt, these fellas.
I guess that's just not a priority. Good suspension and handling, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This one doesn't handle terribly, as shown by its lap time. It's not a terrible lap time, but it's it's. I mean, a lot of the Vet is just they put these big old stonking V8s in the front. The LS line, this is an LS2, and they're big, they're good.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're supposed to be really good in a drag race. So Jeff, they did a drag race.
They did.
It would have mopped the floor with the European cars, right?
You would hope so.
No, it did not.
It did not. It came in 3rd out of 4.
Yep, it was the Corvette, the TVR 350C, which was probably the closest competitor price-wise. The Corvette was $40K. The TVR was like, what, 39?
38 and a half, I think. Yeah, so really close.
Then there was the Honda NSX, which is considerably more expensive.
Yeah, about half again as much.
The regular, normal jabroni 911.
Presumably, yeah. It didn't look like a turbo or anything, but they also did say everything was near 400 horsepower, and I don't believe that one was quite that high. I don't know. It probably was just a Carrera.
But just a regular one, yeah.
Yeah.
And they did a drag race, and the TVR.
It was fast. I mean, it doesn't weigh anything.
Flying. Very fast. So the TVR won. The Corvette ended up coming in 3rd. So not only is it not terribly... it's not fantastic around the corners, but it's also not fantastic in straight line speed. So they're kind of making the point that It's really mostly just for having fun. And I think that's generally the reason people buy Corvettes. They don't buy them because they're thoroughbred race cars.
Yeah.
They buy them because they look pretty good and they're fun.
Yeah, I agree. I always like the C6 styling. It's way better than the C5. The C5 was not terrible. I mean, and the C5 Z06 is still a pretty quick car, but yeah. Hammond did mention stiff clutch, kind of beat him up, but he liked the heads-up display, and it had a G meter, and apparently they had significantly improved handling over the C5.
Yeah, he did say that everything felt cheap and chintzy, and I get that a lot from a Corvette because it's extremely plastic, presumably to save weight and money. But everything he was there pushing on the back bumper area. And janking around inside the interior, and everything was just like moving and squeaking and bending, and just didn't look like the best build quality in the world.
Yeah, I had a rental vet in Hawaii many years back, and yeah, I mean, given it was a rental, but I recall the glove box would just fall open at random, and nothing was particularly good. It was fun to drive. It was not slow. Got a little sideways on the road to Hana, but you know. So this is our power lap before the episode, which means
we gotta put it around the track.
Yes, sir.
Put it around the track. So let's put it on the board. Jeff, we already said that it cost £40,000. What we didn't say is that it did a 126.8, which is, I would say, respectable.
I would agree, and I think that £40,000, that's a pretty decent uptick from like the American price. I think they pay a decent amount more, so I think it'd bear a little better if it was our price at the time. But yeah, not a bad time, cheap.
Yeah, it ended up actually doing a faster lap time than the TVR 350C. So it was not nearly as I guess the TVR 350C was original Stig though. So keep that in mind.
Take 7 seconds off.
But it was faster in a straight line, so you'd almost have to say that this thing handles better than a TVR 350C.
Statement.
Which I don't think the guys would be too happy about us saying, but it was faster. About the same speed as that Spiker, which is like 3 times as much, and pretty much right on pace with the Mitsubishi Evo 8.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, I would say that a respectable lap time. It is certainly in the top third of our lap times. It actually is 15th fastest.
Wow. That's not bad at all.
It's pretty good. So, what would you give a desirability score to this for Jeff?
I would give it a 6.
Oh. You like this one a bit more than I would. I'm going to go with a 5.
Okay.
Never been too thrilled with a Corvette, but I feel a pressure to represent a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta be
I don't think it's nearly as bad as they say it is, or as Clarkson said it is. I think Hammond kind of liked it, but he's a bit country. And
who's a little bit rock and roll.
Exactly, right? That's obviously James.
Yeah.
So a 6 and a 5. Jeff, this makes it 11th.
That's
overall.
not bad. That's not bad at all.
Good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, our desirability scores are right in the middle, so it's not too much. But the Chevrolet Corvette came in 11th with a score of 118.18, just ahead of the Honda NSX Type R, and just behind the Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale.
All right. That's good company.
It is very good company. It's considerably more expensive company.
Yes.
The Challenge Stradale is 133,000 pounds.
You get 3.5 vets for that.
I know, right? And the the NSX is 60,000 pounds. So,
all right, yeah, that wraps us up. This is another kind of without our long jumping. It's a short episode, but that does indeed wrap up our series. This is the end of Series 4. Series 5 will be coming up immediately after, so stay tuned next week for that. And we hope you're enjoying this. If you are, we love recommendations if you want to tell a friend. And we can always use the ratings or reviews on iTunes and a subscription if you feel so inclined on your podcatcher of choice.
You can check us out at facebook.com/Top Gear Rearview. And as Jeff said, this is the end of Season 4, so stay tuned to your podcatcher or the Facebook page for the new automotive-themed livery logo coming for Season 5. Haven't decided what it is yet. We got like 3 weeks until we actually have to do it. But I'm out of town for one of those weeks, so it's going to happen soon.
Get on it,
So,
Brady.
Just guys, keep an eye out for that. You should see it pop up in your podcatcher.
Yeah. So that wraps us up for this week and for Series 4. So we'll see you guys here next week with a new livery and Series 5, Episode 1.